A journey to self-happiness. Well, before we get into starting a new journey towards self-happiness, I must touch over this mythical creature we all flirt with called happiness. What is this thing, and how do we get it? Well, allow me to introduce you to Felix. I feel we may be seeing more of him. Well, let's hope so anyway. Happiness is really a very different animal to each of us, and it will be completely individualized depending on your own perceptions. This is me now, digressing away from the journey path which I said I would from time to time. There are many ways to look at happiness, and I will talk more of these later. Happiness itself is not just made up of one or two things, it is a combination of many things all working together, complementing each other. I will talk about what I call the happiness pie. We all like pie, don't we? I do. What this is if you have multiple ways of being happy, this surely must be a good thing, right? If you only have two ways of being happy, what happens for whatever reason you can't do one of these? Your happiness levels will diminish, won't they? And what if both of these are no longer available? Here's a really crude example. A way of happiness and joy for you comes from gaming on a PlayStation, and another form of happiness comes from, say, fishing. Two very different things. Oh no, there's a power cut, so you can't play your PlayStation anymore. But that's okay. You can go fishing instead. But wait, weather's too bad and you've got no bait. So what happens next? What I'm getting at is that we need multiple slices of this happiness pie to fall back on, should the others not be available to enjoy. If something bad has happened in your life, or you're depressed, then don't stop doing the things that make you happy. You need to do these fun, joyful things more than ever when the chips are down. And don't worry what anyone else says when you're doing your happy things. This example is quite an extreme one, but one I've had to deal with. Having people looking down on me and saying things like, a parent has just died. What do they think they're doing? Going tramping up that mountain or enjoying that ride? Or what are they doing out fishing? Now, don't stop doing these things. It's just stupid. Don't stop doing the things that make you happy when you're sad or depressed. Obviously, it can be hard to find the motivation to do these fun things that make you happy in times of sadness, but you need to be mindful of this and recognize that you need these things to help you and to help minimize the slippery slope deeper into depression. You can see why many people turn to alcohol and drugs to try and cope with situations like this, but ultimately it makes it worse, particularly for alcohol, as alcohol is a depressant anyway. Don't care what other people think of you. You can't control that anyway. So just do what you need to do. People may say things like, you should be grieving and be sad for your loss. Well, obviously you are, but you don't need to wallow in a pit of depression and despair. You need to be kind to yourself and do what's right for you. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. They have no control over you at all, unless you allow them to. And you know what? They can just F off and leave you alone. You don't need to feel guilty about having fun and doing things that make you happy in times of distress. In fact, you need to do these things as much as possible. I like to think of it as filling up your happy juice and recharging your happiness. Self-happiness comes from many things, but I believe the main ones involve time, health, unconditional love, inner peace, having a sense of purpose, and learning, all of which I will talk about later. I say this is a journey, and you can see really it is a journey that will take some time to travel along. The digression into defining a very small piece of what self-happiness is to me was very important and relevant before we continue to discover the start of this journey in the next episode, as I promised.